So what does it mean to map your customer journey? This is how we do it. We break it down into 3 key phases. This is the prospecting phase before somebody has become a client. We then have converting the clients, and then we have fulfillment once they become a client. In each of these phases, as you can see, we have the stages underneath, identifying who it is that we're talking to, what we're doing to attract their attention, making sure that we capture them no matter where they're coming in, whether it's meta messaging or SMS or a chatbot or a phone call, whatever it might be. That's really one of the crucial points. We then make sure that we engage with them to queue up the sales process. And a sales process is very different depending on what kind of business you have. If you're a gym, it's different from a dentist, which is different from a high ticket offer, which is different from a retail or an e-commerce. They're very different sales processes, and that's really important to get that locked in, as well as once somebody converts into a customer, so that you have a really good onboarding and fulfillment, saving time. Where can you use automations to underpin and support the process and make sure there's the all-important accountability in place? Once you've got that nailed, you want to make sure that you are increasing the lifetime value of a client, whether it's getting repeat business, whether it's making sure that you're upselling or cross-selling, whatever's relevant for your business. And then the really important bit, which most people forget, is getting referrals, testimonials, case studies, befores and afters, which support the beginning of the process. Now, this strategy works for every single type of business. The tactics that you're going to employ and the details, that's the bit that changes. But bringing focus to where you're going to get ROI on either your time or your money is what this is all about. You're not going to have a one and done. This is a process that's never finished because your business is never finished. It's always in motion. And you've probably found that your business has got to a point where it's creaking at the seams. What got you here isn't going to get you there, and you need to make some changes. At each of these individual stages, we're then looking at 6 different touch points in every single one, looking at the intentions, looking at the behaviors, looking at the consequences. What is the friction? What are the failures? And what are the opportunities? This creates a really, really robust thinking around your business so that you know exactly what dials to turn and what levers to pull. What's also really important in this is making sure that you know what data and reporting you need at each of these points to make sure that you have the intelligence on your business to make clever decisions. You're not just kind of guessing all the way. Having that as well as accountability in place for you and for your team so that anyone can sit down in your business and see exactly what needs to be done as far as where somebody's at in the customer journey. Knowing what other technology that you need to link out to as well, and depending on what type of business you have, there might be something happening in operations or finance that needs to be considered. If you have a lot of outbound communications, which is often colliding and over communicating, it's really good to get that laid out here as well. Once you know which bit of the customer journey needs to be focused on first, that's the bit that we then come in and we go, okay, this is the bit we need to concentrate on, and we build the statement of works for that. Then we need to map out what the exact processes are. Where does it start? When do we know when it's finished? What's the most direct route that we want the customer to take, and what happens if they don't? And it's only at this point that we're really then having a look at building the automations to support it, looking at what are the assets that we need for each of these, what's going to trigger it, what copy and creative do we need, and do we need to sync up with another software in the process as well. This is really the core and the foundation of building a solid, scalable, repeatable customer journey.